Hello, bookworms. Welcome back to the Bonafide Bookworm. I'm your host, Rachel, and if you're here to read along with me and improve your English. So today, I'm gonna try something. There's this thing on YouTube where you can schedule your uploads. So I'm gonna try to schedule this upload, and I'm super paranoid that it's not gonna work. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it works and there's no user error, but it's me, so might have some user error. Hopefully it uploads correctly on Tuesday. So continuing our laws that we're looking at that help protect animals, which I was kind of confused too. I didn't realize that these laws weren't in chronological order when I was looking at the website, so my apologies. Again, I'm getting this all from Animal Legal Defense Fund. Their website is aldf.org. So this act is called the Lacey Act, and it's from 1900, and it bans the illegal trafficking of wildlife or wild animals or wild plants. And that's pretty much what it does. So there's not much to it. Again, it's out of order. It's 1900. I think we went from 2010, 2019 to 1900 and all over the place. But my apologies. If I had realized it was not in chronological order, I would have put it in chronological order so it made a little bit more sense. But I didn't know that till I started pulling the laws from that website. So I'm sorry. But again, go there. It's a federal law that protects wildlife, wild animals, and plants. So there's that law. When we left off, Joel was very upset. When we left off with saving Sadie, Joel was very upset because she found out that they weren't going to amputate Sadie's left leg because her right leg isn't strong enough to support her weight, because the vet's idea was, hey, we can just make her a 3-legged dog and she'll be okay. She'll be able to walk again. But that right leg isn't strong enough, so Joel's pretty upset about that. So we're gonna pick back up on page 113 on Saving Sadie by Joal Derse Dauer with Elizabeth Ridley. And this has a cute little picture today. It's called Chapter 6, Sadie and Noah, When Kindred Souls Connect. And here's a picture of Sadie lounging in the sun. All right. Come on, Sadie, give it a try. Please do it for me. Come on, girl. I said that come on, girl. Let me start over. Come on, Sadie, give it a try. Please do it for me. Come on, girl. I was kneeling on the floor in Dr. Jody's exam room, along with vet tech Katie, eye to eye and nose to snout with a very stubborn and, oh Lord, this is a big word for me, I cannot say this word, Sadie, who utterly, absolutely, unequivocally refused to follow my commands. Please, Sadie, for me, I begged. The normally relaxed, calming mood of the room, with its low lighting, gentle music, and warm, subtle aroma of essential oils wafting above our heads, was today rife with tension as an uneasy stalemate, a tense I don't know this word either. I think it's French. It has a little asterisk over it. I don't know what it is. Continued between mom and dog. It was Sadie's first time trying the walking wheels, and she was making it abundantly clear she wanted nothing to do with this contraption, even though it was a lightweight, streamlined piece of equipment. The 2 wheels were situated at the back alongside Sadie's legs, and the aluminum frame that bracketed the outside of her torso was attached via canvas and Velcro straps that circled her back and chest. Come on, Sadie, just give it a try, I pleaded, gently grasping her shoulders and tugging her forward. I promise it'll feel just like you're walking again. She whined in response, and then collapsed her front legs beneath her body, staunchly locking them into place as her back end shot straight up into the air. There would be no moving her now. "Why are you doing this to me?" I moaned. I felt as if my beautiful, compliant, good-natured dog had suddenly transformed into a defiant toddler, mired deep in the depths of the terrible twos. "Well, I don't think it's hurting her," Katie offered, crossing her legs and tucking her long brown hair behind her ear. "I don't think so either," I agreed, sitting back on my heels and shaking my head. "I don't think Sadie's in pain. It's more like she finds the wheels humiliating or something. Maybe it's just uncomfortable because she hasn't stood up and walked for so long," Katie suggested. "Maybe she's not familiar with those sensations anymore." "That could be it," I replied, scratching my chin. "I figured the wheels would take some getting used to and she might not take to them right away," I added, trying not to sound as disappointed as I felt. My plan was to put Sadie in the wheels twice a week for 30 minutes at a time and build up her usage from there as she got stronger and more comfortable with the device. But Sadie was letting us know after only a few minutes that she clearly had had enough for today. I motioned for Katie to help me get Sadie out of the wheels, and together we loosened the straps and released the frame. "All right, Sadie, at least you gave it a try." I stroked her head, offered her a treat, and gave her plenty of consolatory kisses. I didn't want her to think that I was angry with her or that she had let me down. I understood that encouragement was the best method for effecting change. "We've still got your wagon," I reminded her, "and right now you need love and comfort more than you need your own wheels to get around. We'll try it again in a few days and see how you do then." As it happened so many times before, I had to remind myself that Sadie had her own internal schedule that only she was privy to. I couldn't make her stick to my schedule, no matter how hard I tried. She would walk again when she was good and ready to, and not a moment before. Nearly 2 weeks had passed since Sadie's surgery. She had had the stitches taken out of her forehead a few days earlier, and I could tell that her head was feeling much better. Her tail was healing too, although she had clearly hurt much worse than her head. Oh, I messed that sentence up. Her tail was healing too, although that had clearly hurt much more than her head. I wrapped, treated, cleaned, and rewrapped the incision on her tail twice a day, and I could see the wounds slowly but surely beginning to close over, knitting together with new tissue. I was also still soaking Sadie in my bathtub twice a day for 20 to 30 minutes at a time, but I had started adding lavender oil to the bath, and Sadie absolutely loved the calming, soothing power of its gentle aroma. She actually fell asleep now while I bathed her each and every time. The one major concern I had during this period, and it worried me a lot, was that Sadie's mobility, such as it was, had dramatically decreased since the surgery. And although I had never seen her walk prior to her surgery, she had been doing her bunny hop more and more, with more strength, longer duration, and greater distance covered. But now it seemed like her good right leg had weakened, and neither Dr. Jody nor I could figure out why. Perhaps the strength would come back in time, but I sure wasn't willing to wait and risk it getting even worse. Something dramatic needed to happen immediately, so I made an appointment to have Sadie evaluated at Tops Veterinary Rehabilitation Center, about 60 miles away in Grays Lake, Illinois. One of the few, not to mention one of the best, rehab centers in the country devoted solely to treating animals. Tops offered state-of-the-art therapies, including hydrotherapy, ultrasound, cryotherapy, acupuncture, chiropractic massage, and several other treatment protocols. I was familiar with Tops because I had taken some of my other animals for treatment there in the past. If anyone could help Sadie get her rehab back on track so she could focus on walking again, it was the vets, techs, and therapists at Tops. So on June 18th, 2012, I bundled Sadie into the back of my SUV, and together we made the hour-long drive down to Grays Lake, a leafy, affluent village about 40 miles north of Chicago. Sadie's team that day was led by Dr. Lisa Starr and treatment supervisor Cassandra Sorensen. They began their assessment of Sadie by tying a towel around her midsection to support her and then holding her up while she was placed on a long carpet and encouraged to walk. She did, in fact, take a few steps, but only backward. No matter what we tried, Sadie made no attempt to propel herself forward. None of us could figure out why. Was this simply her way of dealing with back legs that couldn't hold her up? Whatever the reason, the stubborn Sadie I had encountered when I tried to get her to use the walking wheels surfaced yet again, as she absolutely refused to move forward. This was frustrating, of course, but I rejoiced in a small corner of my soul to think that the passive, vacant, empty-eyed Sadie that I'd adopted less than 2 months earlier was now more and more frequently showing signs of defiance, determination, and good old-fashioned spunk. That's my Sadie, I thought proudly, my stubborn baby girl. As they undid the towel around her middle and released her, and she fumbled, tumbled, and stumbled straight into my waiting arms. Following Sadie's assessment, Dr. Lisa and her team recommended Sadie attend TOPS twice a week to receive treatment including chiropractic, cranial sacral therapy, passive range of motion, E-stim, neuromuscular stimulation via electrical current, and TOPS unique hydro treadmill, the first and only underwater treadmill in the world exclusively for use with dogs. The warmth of the water combined with the lack of weight would make it easier for Sadie to move and to strengthen her legs. The machine also included underwater cameras that projected the images onto a screen so the vets could observe and evaluate Sadie's gait in real time. The TOPS staff recommended that Sadie continue this intensive treatment regimen until the end of October, or, in other words, for about 4.5 months to yield the best results. This all sounded amazing and amazingly expensive. We were still receiving donations online at a steady pace, but the amounts given were small, although always deeply appreciated. The money I had stocked away in savings and retirement funds was dwindling quickly, and meanwhile, Sadie seemed to be further away from walking than ever before. Still, what could I do? I had come too far with her and had too much faith that she would walk again someday to quit now. If I gave up on Sadie, then all this had truly been for nothing. And I couldn't very well ask her to just remain in her diminished state, consigned to only moving via short, painful bunny hops or dragging her lifeless back legs on the ground behind her because that was all I could afford. Sadie did not deserve the cruel hand she'd been dealt in life. I assumed her only crime was to continually give birth to litters of puppies for her owner until she was no longer needed, and then they shot her in the head and abandoned her in the woods to die. Sadie desperately deserved a second chance in life, and I was determined to be the one who gave it to her. The reality was that as much as I had tried not to, I had fallen deeply, desperately, head over heels in love with Sadie. She was my dogter now, and I was her forever mom. We were in this together, through thick and thin, so I would just have to find a way to tighten my belt, cut costs, and do without. If that's what it was going to take to save Sadie, that's exactly what I was going to do. And we're going to pause there because it's got a good page break. That's at the top of page 119. So we'll pick back up next time. Hopefully this uploads correctly, automatically, if I follow the instructions and do what I'm supposed to. And if not, then maybe you won't see this Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But wherever you're at, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great day, week, month, year. And wherever it's at, I hope it's great. And I hope you come back here. Bye.